What's going on YouTube? John here, and today I have a review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. We're going to talk about the hardware, the software, the camera, and everything in between, so let's go ahead and get started. As we take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S5 here, you'll notice that this is a very similar design to the S4 from last year, though this one is bigger, it has a bigger display, which we'll talk about later. And the backing is a little bit different here. It has a dimple pattern on the back here. And if you've seen the gold version, the rumor is it looks like a Band-Aid. You have your power button on the right-hand side, and you have your volume rocker there on the left-hand side. And then you have the power button down below. And on the bottom here is a port, your charging port here, the proprietary charging port, which I do not like this charging cable. And I don't like this cover on it, but it has to be there because this phone is rated as water resistant, so it needs to be there. Taking a look at the display now on the Galaxy S5, it is a slightly bigger display than the S4 at 5.1 inches compared to 5 inches on the S4. It's a full HD 1080p Super AMOLED display here, and it looks great. You're really not going to be able to show this through video here, but this display looks really good. It's one of the best displays I've seen on a smartphone, and it's just overall very good. The Samsung Galaxy S5 features 2 gigs of RAM and a 2.5 gigahertz quad-core processor and is running Android 4.4.2 KitKat, and that processor and that memory just allows this thing to go through the operating system. And it has TouchWiz on top as well, but it's a refined TouchWiz, and really not a fan of skins on top of Android. Like I've said in previous reviews of Android phones, I like the pure Android experience, but this one runs without any kind of hiccups in this phone. Not a lot of lag you're gonna see here on the phone at all, really. And you saw it in the settings menu there. That is a lot of settings in the menu there. There's just so many settings you can go through on the Samsung Galaxy S5. They should really cut that down a bit on the settings. But this phone just handles the operating system and TouchWiz on top really brilliantly. And you here have on the left-hand side, if you swipe all the way to the left, you get this kind of My Magazine app, which is similar to like Blink Feed and things like that, where you can get your top stories from all your different apps like Facebook and Twitter and things like that. So the operating system and this phone handles performance very well. On the back of the Samsung Galaxy S5, you'll notice a few things here. First off, you can see that dotted or dimpled back there a little bit better in this video. You also notice up top what look like 2 cameras, and the top one is a new 16 megapixel camera, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But below that, that is not a camera. That is actually a heart rate monitor that is built in to use S-Health to monitor your heart rate. And I did use this, and it took a few times to work, but I don't know exactly how accurate it is because I don't have anything else to test my heart rate with. But it did register a heart rate, and it did seem to work. So we'll leave it at that. One of the new features of the Samsung Galaxy S5 is a fingerprint scanner on the home button. And unlike the iPhone 5S, you don't hold your finger there on the home button, you swipe it across. And I found this to be a little hit or miss. This can be used right now for only PayPal payments and buying content on Samsung services instead of entering your password. But I can see this being refined and being able to be used to buy apps and music like that. So this could be a great feature in future Galaxy phones. Let's go ahead and talk about the rear-facing camera now on the Samsung Galaxy S5, and it's an upgraded 16 megapixel camera. It was previously a 13 megapixel camera on the S4, and it takes some really good shots here, as you can see in the pictures. It does have its flaws here and there, but overall, really good shots. And one of the new features in the camera editing software here is selective focus. You can have near focus, far focus, or pan focus you can select from here. And it was a little hit or miss. It's going to be hard to show this here on the video. As you can see, it will blur out certain sections of the picture here. But overall, this is a very good camera on this smartphone. So my final thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy S5 are that it's a very nice upgrade from the S4. The 5.1-inch display is right in that sweet spot of where smartphones should be at, in that 5-inch range. It is a Super AMOLED 1080p display, very nice. It's got the latest version of Android 4.4.2 KitKat with TouchWiz on top, though this smartphone handles it very well. Very minimal lag throughout this smartphone here. It's got an upgraded 16 megapixel camera that takes great photos. Can highly recommend this for taking those photos on the go. It also has great battery life. If you're a non-power user, you're going to get probably 2 days of use out of this battery, and it is a removable battery, so you can change it out. A non-power user or a power user is going to probably get a day and a half, maybe a day of use out of this battery, and the smartphone is water resistant for certain things, certain activities. So this is overall a very great phone. It's probably one of the top phones available today, including the iPhone 5S. And it's definitely one of the top Android smartphones available. If you have any comments or questions about the Samsung Galaxy S5, leave those down below in the comments section, and I will catch you guys in the next video.